Good morning, students. I, Dinesh Pratap Singh, Assistant Professor, EC, Oriental Institute of Science and Technology. Today, I will take lecture on network coding that is used in cooperative communication. What is network coding? The basic principle behind network coding is that nodes in the network form combination of messages that they receive and forward those combinations. The destination then recovers the original message from different combinations at receivers. Thus, network coding can be seen as the collaboration. Not only the resources, power, and time are shared between the nodes, but also the messages. Network coding turns out to be useful mainly for multicast situations, such as where multiple sources transmit messages and all nodes want to learn those messages. For this case, the key result of network coding information theory says that if a network without network coding can provide a certain rate to each receiver in isolation, then with an appropriate choice of network code, it can support all receivers at that rate simultaneously. This is two-way relaying, network coding and two-way relaying. The simplest example of a network code is the bidirectional relay. Bidirectional means two-way relay. Means both transmit and receive at a time. Consider the situation is sketched in figure. There are two messages A and B which are to be exchanged between nodes A and B via relay node R. There are two messages A and B that is to be exchanged between nodes A and B. They two messages, two nodes. Two messages, suppose small a and B, two nodes कैपिटल ए एंड बी, और ये एक्सचेंज करेंगे मैसेज को वाया रिले नोड रिले. The conventional way of relaying uses time division multiple access to separate the message and thus requires 4 packet durations, 4 time slots for the exchange. जैसा कि फिगर में दिखाया गया, इन slot 1 node A sends message A to the relay. In slot 2 node B sends message B to the relay. In slot 3 the relay sends message A to node B, and in slot 4 the relay sends message B to node A. That is shown in figure. Left side is conventional method and network coding right side. In conventional method there are 4 time slots required, but in network coding there is only 3 time slot required, as you can see in the figure. Slot 1 A transmit message A to relay. In slot 2 B transmit message B to relay. In slot 3 relay node transmit message A to B, and in slot 4 relay transmit message B to node A. And in network coding right side, A node transmit a message A to relay. Then in time slot 2 B node transmit message B to relay, and in third slot A node receives message AB and B node receives message AB from the relay. A more efficient approach is the following: slots 1 and 2 are as above. Nodes A and B separately send their messages to the relay. However, in the third slot, the relay broadcasts the sum of the two messages, such as A plus B. Since node A already knows message A, it can easily determine message B from the sum signal B is equal to S minus A. Similarly, node B can determine message A from the sum signal S. With this approach, we have improved the spectral efficiency of the transmission. We now need only 3 time slots instead of 4 to relay 2 messages. Note that the sum signal S really in a symbol by symbol summation of the messages, not a concatenation of the two messages, and thus has the same length as example the individual message A. In the above example, we implicitly assume that the relay sums the complex modulation symbols of the two messages. This approach leads to a higher power value of the sum signal and is thus undesirable. Better approach is for the relay to demodulate the message A and B and then perform a modulo 2. Modulo 2 means addition XORing of the information bits. This is used to demodulate the message A and B. It is this approach that is generally used for network coding. Other approaches include the use of novel modulation constellations onto which received complex symbol combinations are mapped. Basics of network coding. Network coding is more complicated. Networks is similar in split to the above two-way relaying. Essentially, each node creates a linear combination of the incoming signals and forwards them to other nodes. The linear combination is actually done on a finite field, such as using modulo additions, similarly to the above example where additions were interpreted as XOR, such as additions in Galois field 2. In order to reconstruct the signal intended for it, a destination node has to receive a sufficient number of linearly independent combinations of packets. Another classical example of network coding is shown in figure. Two messages A and B are to be transmitted to two receiving nodes. All links are assumed to the interference free. The link in the middle would constitute a bottleneck. It lies on the only path for message A to get from source A to the destination on the right, and similarly that link lies on the only path for message B from source B to the destination on the left. One thus might think that this link supports only half the data rate of the other links for each message and thus limits the overall data rate. However, in network coding, we only transmit the signal A XOR B over this link, which requires the same rate as the rate on other links. The source node on the left can then gets message directly from its link to node A and recovers message B from A XOR B and message A. Similarly, the destination node on the right can recover both messages B and A. This is the figure where node A transmits to relay and message B transmits to relay, and then XORing A of B received by the A and B via relay node. This is multicast in a butterfly network with network coding. After these simple examples, we turn to a more detailed mathematical description. Consider a set of n, capital N data packets, n number of data packets, Zn, where n is equal to 1, small n is equal to 1, 2, 3 up to capital N, generated by one or several sources. A node generates a new message from multiple received packet as multiple received packet at receiver node. X is equal to summation of n gn zn. Remember that the addition is done on a symbol by symbol basis, so that for the kth symbol of the message, xk is equal to summation of gn zk n. The coefficients zn depend on the path over which the packet reaches the considered node and are summarized in the local encoding vector g. For the decoding of the original message, we need capital M is greater than or equal to an independent linear packet combinations. Capital M is independent linear packet combinations of XM and knowledge of the encoding vectors. From those we can obtain by Gaussian eliminations method the original Zn. If not all combinations XM are linearly independent, we need more observations of packet combinations where the XM are independent is determined by the encoding matrix G. Fortunately, it can be shown that if the encoding vectors are chosen randomly, then the high probability the X are linearly independent for large field sizes. That is the end of the lecture. Thank you.